Terminal ballistic deals with a variety of targets which are normally used either in suicide cases or in homicide cases, and they can be broadly divided into two categories: non-living targets and living targets. So far as non-living targets are concerned, they can be clothes of the victim, which become extremely important when the person committing suicide does not use parts which are not covered with clothes, such as temple, head, mouth, etc. When he uses his chest, which is covered with clothes, they assume great importance. The, the other targets would be glass panes, wooden walls, wooden doors, glass doors, car window panes. All these targets are normally examined under the heading of terminal ballistics because they penetrate, and the penetration studies are the purview of terminal ballistics. The study of ricochet of bullet is also carried out in the same subject, that is terminal ballistics. The living targets are birds, animals, and human beings. None of these is a uniform medium. As far as human beings are concerned, they have different vulnerability on different parts of the body because body is a non-uniform medium and consists of 80% of water, and that too distributed unevenly. Thus, various parts of the body have different vulnerabilities as far as the injuries are concerned. The most vulnerable portions could be liver, heart, lungs, etc. Whereas sometime a bullet may pass through the arm of a person and he does not suffer fatal injury. Thus, the vulnerability of different parts of the human being are different, and so is the case with animals and birds.
After studying this module, you shall be able to know about the external ballistics, evaluate the velocity of bullet in air, analyze the path of bullet in air. Introduction: External ballistics. It would be more appropriate if it is said that the external ballistics deals with the motion of projectiles, bullet exiting from the muzzle of the weapon to the target or till it drops down under the influence of gravity. The trajectories of projectiles are parabolic in form, but would differ in curvatures and lengths. The study of external ballistics assumes great importance due to its contribution, especially in the following studies: determination of different kind of ranges, namely fatal range, effective range, and extreme range; reconstruction of sequence of events in different cases involving criminal angles; problems involving ricochet of bullets; problems relating to safe zones or danger portions or danger spaces. There are three basic considerations regarding flight of projectiles which are mentioned below in brief. Trajectory means the path of the bullet from the muzzle to the striking point on the target, and it is in the form of a parabola. The flight of all projectiles, whether through the air or in the vacuum, without any air resistance, is governed by Newton's law of motion. Many factors influence the flight of the bullet, but the two main factors are gravitational pull of the earth, which brings it to the ground or target, and resistance of the air, which reduces its velocity. Trajectory of a bullet in vacuum. Let a bullet be fired from a firearm in the direction OZ at an angle alpha with the horizon with a velocity v as shown. If there are no factors influencing the initial velocity v, like air resistance or gravitational pull of the earth, as can happen in space, the projectile would travel in a straight line covering equal distances in every second. According to Newton's first law of motion, a body at rest or in motion would continue to be in that position until some force is applied to change that position. Thus, the positions of the bullet during 4 seconds are shown at A, B, C, and D after covering distances v, 2v, 3v, and 4v. The velocity v of the bullet is along OZ, hence its velocity towards OX and OY would be v cos alpha and v sin alpha respectively. In actual practice, both air resistance and gravitational pull plays a very important role and can greatly influence the motion of projectiles, and to illustrate this point, some cases of firing in air are cited. People celebrate different occasions like marriages, festivals, and victories in court cases by firing weapons in air to express their happiness. Sometimes crowd needs to be dispersed and police fires in air to disperse the same. Manufacturer of firearms and ballistic expert may fire in air in connection with technical work concerning weapons. Criminals may use firearms in cases involving homicides. The effect of air resistance and gravitational pull would be discussed together to know the change in the trajectory of bullet in air. Air will offer resistance to the moving bullet, resulting in the decrease in its velocity. The gravitational pull will make a further change in the path, which will attain the form of a parabola as shown. Position of bullet shown at A, B, C, D are in case of vacuum firing, but the position will change when firing takes place in air. As air offers resistance to the bullet and decreases its velocity, and hence the distance traveled would be lesser, giving rise to new positions A, B, C, and D. Gravitational pull will bring the bullet downwards, whose trajectory forms a parabola. New positions of the bullet as a result of air resistance and bullet drop will be E, F, G, and H to give the trajectory to form of a parabola. The exact shape of the trajectory can be predetermined by including additional factors like shape of the bullet and its sectional density, which are defined as follows. Sectional density of a bullet is equal to weight of the bullet by diameter square. Difference in air resistance is referred to in ballistics as form factor. The efficiency of the flight of the projectile depends upon its sectional density. The greater the sectional density, the better is the efficiency. Lead is therefore a good material for the manufacturing of projectiles. Vacuum trajectories and air trajectories. Both the vacuum trajectories and air trajectories are important in external ballistics. Vacuum trajectories have assumed great importance in space travel, but derivations and formulations applicable to vacuum trajectories cannot be applied to the real trajectories in air and for small firearms. At best, it could be a rough estimate in case of extremely low velocity projectiles. The firing of guns in air is a frequent phenomena in several cases already mentioned, namely police firing in air for dispersing of crowd or used by expert and research works in the field of ballistics. In forensic science, frequent examination of improvised firearms is required, as they are used in many criminal cases involving homicides and murders, and this may involve firing in the air. Many people use firearms in air to pay respect to national flag. Both non-standard and standard weapons are used for committing crimes, where air does play an important part. Hence, the study of external ballistics is an important field with respect to trajectories both in the air as well as in vacuum. Calculation of trajectory parameters. There are many trajectory parameters. Their determination will be followed later on. They are given vertical range and maximum vertical range, drop of the bullet, remaining velocity, horizontal range, striking angle, velocity of escape. Before discussing about evaluation of these parameters, it is necessary that various terms used during evaluation are properly explained. Let a bullet be projected from a point O in the direction OC as shown below. OX is equal to represents maximum horizontal range and horizontal axis. OY is represents the vertical axis. Angle COX is equal to angle of projection. Curve ODX represents the trajectory, that is path traced by the bullet. OAC is equal to direction of projection of bullet. CX represents the bullet drop. DZ represents the mid-range height. Angle OXP represents angle of impact. Ballistic coefficient. Ballistic coefficient is usually represented by C and indicates the ability of the projectile to overcome air resistance and its efficiency in flight. The sectional density is not the only factor affecting the retardation, the degree of velocity lost due to the air of a bullet, as shape of the bullet also plays a very important part. If form factor is taken into consideration and sectional density is divided by it, the term so obtained is called ballistic coefficient, where C is equal to W by ID square, where C is equal to ballistic coefficient, W is equal to weight of the bullet, I is the form factor, D is the diameter of the bullet. Form factor is basically a measure of how streamlined a bullet is. Thus, the larger the ballistic coefficient, the better the bullet will retain its velocity and lower the bullet drop for any given distance. Example: sectional density of 0.38 inch special bullet having a diameter of 0.357 inch and weight of 150 grams will be 12.39 gram per inch square. A much lighter bullet, 12.5 grams, having the same caliber will give sectional density of 125 gram by 0.357 into 0.357, which is equal to 980 gram per inch square. Sectional density of the lighter bullet is lower, indicating lower carrying capacity, though caliber of both bullet is the same. Their carrying capacities are different. Vertical range determination. It has been clear earlier that a projectile, when projected at an angle alpha to the horizontal axis with velocity v, will have the following components. Horizontal components is equal to v cos alpha. Vertical component is equal to v sin alpha. If the firearm is fired in vacuum, where there is absence of air and hence no air resistance, it would be correct to say that by the time the projectile loses all its velocity due to gravitational pull of the earth and attains zero velocity, it can no more go upward, and that would be the vertical range attained by the bullet, knowing that final velocity of the bullet will be equal to initial velocity, which is equal to minus gt, where the time of flight is t and g is acceleration due to gravity. Final velocity O is equal to v sin alpha minus gt, or t is equal to v sin alpha by g. Now using the formula, which is equal to final velocity square minus initial velocity square, is equal to 295, where s is the distance travelled by the bullet, O minus v square sine square alpha, which is equal to 2gs. S is equal to the height reached by the bullet and is therefore equal to h, where s is equal to h. V square sine square alpha is equal to 2gh, where h is the height reached by the bullet, or h is equal to v square sine square alpha by 2g, which is equal to vertical range. Calculation of maximum vertical range. By having the maximum value of sine square alpha, we shall have maximum value of vertical range. Maximum value of sine alpha is 1 when alpha is equal to 90 degree. So, maximum vertical range is equal to v square by 2g. So, when the bullet is fired vertically upward, range will be maximum and equal 16 by v square by 2g. Bullet drop. The rate of fall of a bullet is determined by the use of well-known formula which is stated below. H is equal to half gt square, where h is equal to drop of the bullet, g is equal to acceleration due to gravitational pull of the earth. Its value is 32.17 feet per second. It is generally taken as 32 feet per second. T, time in seconds. Thus, a bullet will fall through a distance of 16 feet as per calculations shown below. Bullet drop h is equal to half gt square when t is equal to 1, h is equal to half g, which is equal to half into 32, which is equal to 16 feet. It may be clearly understood that the drop of bullet does not depend either on the mass of the bullet or its initial velocity. It is totally independent of both the mass and velocity of the bullet, whether the velocity was initial or attained during the flight. Thus, all bullets whether moving with small velocity 200 feet per second or large velocities of about 4000 feet per second will have a fall of 16 feet in 1 second or 4 feet in a quarter of a second. The difference in bullet velocities will have effect on the distance traveled, as bullets with higher velocity will take shorter time for a given distance. The bullet does not continue with the same velocity during its flight. As the pressure on its nose causes resistance, it will result in gradual reduction in its velocity. Calculation of remaining velocity. The remaining velocity at any time t after its projection can be ascertained. The resultant velocity of a projectile projected at an angle alpha with the horizontal axis can be calculated, say after time t, from the square root of the sum of squares of its vertical and horizontal components. Let a bullet be projected with a velocity v at an angle alpha to the horizon. The vertical and horizontal components of velocity v after time t would be v sine alpha minus gt in the vertical direction, v cos alpha in the horizontal direction. Horizontal components has not changed because there is no gravitational pull in that direction, but the vertical components, which had its value v sine alpha at the start, gets reduced to v sine alpha minus gt after a time t due to gravitational pull of the earth. Hence, the resultant velocity is seen below. Summary. External ballistics deals with the motion of projectiles, bullets from the muzzle, end of the weapon to the target or till it drops down under the influence of gravity. Two factors which influence the flight of the bullet are gravitational pull of the earth, which brings it to the ground or target, and resistance of the air, which reduces its velocity. A projectile, when projected at an angle alpha to the horizontal axis with velocity v, will have the following component. Horizontal component is equal to v cos alpha. Vertical component is equal to v sine alpha. Vertical range is calculated by h, which is equal to v square sine square alpha by 2g. The rate of fall of a bullet drop, is determined by h, which is equal to half gt square.